What is up, everybody? Supreme Kyle here. Today I'll be going over my current Kaws collection. I have 5 pieces right now from 3 different sets: the BFF, Flayed Companion, as well as the Gone set. I think Kaws in general are just really fun pieces to be able to display in your home, whether that's on a desk or a shelf. I think they're starting to like strike up a conversation with different people, just given how unique looking they are. And I think they also attract a lot of different types of people. Maybe you like art or sculptures or just kind of display pieces in general. I think Kaws are just really, fun pieces to have around your home and in your collection kind of in general. So in this video, I'll just be kind of doing a general overview of my current collection. If you want to see more specifics, I do have some videos, kind of going over my BFFs on my channel, as well as just kind of a general overview of kind of these figures as well. So again, and basically in this video, I'll just be going over, kind of these sets, giving you some details, some pricing, that sort of thing. So with that being said, let's jump right into the video. All right, so first set up here, I have my Kaws BFF Open Edition. This set came in 3 different colors: black, blue, and pink. Pink being the most desirable right now and having the highest resale, around $700 to $800. Blue being the second most, that goes around, $400 to $500 right now. And the black, I believe, is going for around $300, give or take. These are 13 inches tall and retailed for $280 back in 2017, 2018. Like most of Kaws' pieces, these sold out very quick and were very desirable. Being that these are an open edition, we don't know how many are actually out there to the general public, floating in circulation. Whereas in the past, Kaws would kind of make more numbered figures, whether that's, you'd make 500 or 1,000 of kind of each piece, and that would be kind of, generally known. These, you don't know how many are currently out there. But one thing I do like, I know some collectors don't like the open editions, they'll only collect kind of the numbered, sets and whatnot. I think it does kind of just give it to more of a, general population of people that in the past might not have been able to afford a $3,000 piece, but they might be able to afford a $300 piece to add to their collection. So I think that just helps, get Kaws out there a bit more. Obviously, these are very popular already. I know especially in Asia, a lot of these kind of designer toys are extremely popular, and I think they're slowly, working their way over here in America and Europe and whatnot. But I think it's just going to help kind of brand Kaws even more. He's obviously, again, so big everywhere. The detail on these pieces are really amazing. You'll see kind of the texture throughout. In person especially, just looks incredible here. You'll obviously see with these, they have the signature crossed out eyes. That's basically Kaws', very signature logo. Again, these stand at 13 inches tall versus some of other Kaws' other figures that don't, stand as tall. Like this Flayed Companion here is 11 inches. So definitely a good size to these. One other thing to note too is on the bottom of the feet, they'll basically kind of give you some information. For instance, these say, Kaws 17 Open Edition. Basically, they'll also kind of tell you, where they're made and by who. Medicom toy in China. So that's one thing to, kind of note on the bottom of these is they'll usually tell you the year they were released and made. These blue and black ones I think were 2017, and this pink one was 2018. Again, they're made by Medicom Toy, who makes a lot of different toys. They also make the bear bricks, as well. So that's one thing just to kind of note on these different pieces. You can also move the arms on these pieces, which I think is certainly fun. I know some collectors like to kind of put things in their arms and take pictures with them and do different things. So definitely just a fun option there. I would obviously just kind of be careful when you are moving the arms, especially the first time. You can be a little bit nervous that you think you're going to break it, but I mean, they're pretty sturdy in general. So you shouldn't have a problem with that. I think, these are just, again, very fun to display. I kind of display all 3 together. You could obviously, display these individually if you can't afford the whole set. I mean, this pink one obviously being pretty expensive here. I think if you are kind of getting into these for your first time, you kind of want a piece to kind of at least get you started in collecting Kaws. I think this black figure at $300 is definitely a good option for someone looking to kind of, get started here. Versus, this pink one at $800 is probably out of the reach of most people. Talking briefly here about the box, I don't love the box these kind of come in. It's almost like a plastic, mold on the inside with like a plastic wrap on the outside. And you do actually have to cut off the top of these to be able to take them out and display them. So I don't love this packaging. I know, right now it seems like Kaws is moving in the direction of kind of having actual boxes, which I think make for a much kind of better display. But it's just kind of one thing to note that some people only kind of buy these actually sealed. So if you do plan on displaying them, it's just one thing to kind of keep in mind. You do need to cut off the top to be able to take these out and display them. So getting on to my next set here, we have the Kaws Gone. Similar to the BFFs, this actually came in 3 colorways. I only have one currently, this one being the brown and blue. There's also two other versions, one that's gray and pink and one that's kind of all black. Again, these are an open edition, so we don't know how many, were actually made. This figure goes for about $950. I think the pink one goes for around $1,400, and I think the black one around $1,200. So definitely a bit pricey, and certainly a step up here from the BFFs. This piece stands at 14 inches tall, and is certainly unique here because you're almost getting two pieces in one. Considering you're basically having the companion carry a BFF here. You're also getting like the height and the width on this piece. So it's a lot bigger kind of in person. Again, the details, especially on this BFF with all kind of the texture, is great. Basically, this companion in the back is relatively simple here with kind of the brown design. Obviously, again, causes signature crossed out eyes. And you have the blue BFF that is just, again, very textured and a bit more loud here. So I think it's definitely an interesting choice to kind of combine these. And the Gone set in general is just so cool. I was looking at this piece for a long time. I actually saw a review on it and then eventually ended up getting this, thankfully. But certainly very cool in person. I believe this released in 2019 for $580 retail. Again, you can kind of check the bottom of the feet to get some more info. Yeah, Kaws 2019, Gone, made by Medicom Toy in China. So that's, again, one kind of quick tip when you're looking at Kaws is, you can kind of check the feet to get some more details on release and, sometimes even the set and kind of all that. You cannot move the arms on this piece, so I'd certainly not try that. I mean, you'll probably end up kind of breaking this, but I would assume that, you would probably know you can't move it since he's kind of, holding someone, but, just don't try that because, again, you'll probably end up breaking this piece, which would not be good considering how expensive it is. It also comes with this giant box here, so it's a bit different from these other two pieces that come in, again, that kind of plastic mold with a wrap. I think it's just a way better display presentation here and just kind of adds to the quality of these pieces. And especially being a high-end collectible, collectors really want the best presentation in terms of everything, really, starting from the box. I think this box just adds a lot to this piece, and I think Kaws is definitely going in the path of making kind of nicer boxes for these figures. Moving on to my last set here, I have my Kaws Companion Flayed in multicolor and black. Funny enough, this is my smallest Kaws figure at 11 inches tall, but it's also my most expensive given that this currently resells for around $1,200. Again, another open edition here, but I mean, when I think of Kaws, I really think of this figure. It's certainly my favorite, at least kind of, since around the 2016 era when he started kind of making these open editions. I really just think of this piece because of the colors, the design. I think it's just incredible, and it's really, just a great piece to display. And really the contrast on this piece is just amazing with all the colors. Obviously, you have the flayed insides, which is just a different, sort of look. So this is really what I think of Kaws when people kind of talk about him. I really think of, this figure. This is certainly my favorite piece in my collection, and I actually bought it when it was going for around $600, give or take, I think a year ago, which I thought was a lot at the time. Obviously, this has doubled in price, just, given how collectible this certain colorway is of the companion Flayed being the most desirable. It obviously generates the most interest, and that causes the price to go up, given that it is limited. Again, it's an open edition, so we don't know how many, but people certainly love this piece, and I certainly do as well, just given how cool this design really is. So this Kaws released back in 2016 for $200 retail. Again, you can kind of check the bottom of the feet to see some more info. Kaws 2016 open edition, Medicom Toy, China. There's also 3 other colorways of this. There's one kind of in a blush red. There's one that's like a brown with kind of a multicolor inside, and there's one that's kind of all gray as well. This piece certainly being the most expensive. I think the blush piece goes for around $300, and the gray and the multicolor one, I think $500 to $600. So this one at $1,200, certainly well above the other ones, but I think it's definitely validated just given on how much I love this colorway. It's just so unique. All the colors just kind of meshing all in one, going from the black to a huge, color splash of pink, green, blue, orange, yellow, everything kind of just mixing all together on the one side and getting so much texture. You're kind of going to see all like the muscle, especially on the back, as well as kind of the arms, kind of resembling like muscle tendons. So it's very textured. So it's like really just, contrasting the two different sides, one being very plain, the other one being very, vibrant and loud. I think just makes it such a unique piece. You also see just kind of how detailed it basically is on this left side with kind of all the different organs and basically kind of just a full view of like the body on here. Obviously the brain and the skull popping out there. And, all these colors, I think, just really, add to the piece and just make it, something that's just awesome to display. And it certainly will be a conversation starter if you have this on your desk or wherever it is, because most people aren't used to kind of seeing these. So this will obviously just kind of really pop and maybe even kind of add that kind of shock factor for a lot of people that, people are looking for when they actually display all these different pieces. Again, this is my favorite piece right now, and I think I'm probably going to hold on to it for a very long time. It'll probably be the last one I end up selling if I ever do end up selling my collection one day. I think obviously Kaws is very popular right now, but he continues to kind of gain more and more fans and more people that are collecting some of his different pieces here. So again, I think this is a really, great investment piece, just given how desirable, this colorway is. Obviously, $1,200 is a lot to spend on one piece. So I would certainly recommend maybe buying some of the cheaper pieces, getting used to what Kaws are, and where you can kind of figure out to display them and all that. Basically, before you kind of get into these more expensive pieces, I think it's certainly a better idea to just kind of get a cheaper piece, get used to what Kaws are, and that sort of whole process before you really spend a lot of money on these pieces. So that wraps up the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed my Kaws collection. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on this video, and leaving me a comment below if you want to see a specific Kaws figure reviewed. I also have some other videos on my channel with collectibles and those sorts of things, so if you're interested in that, definitely check that out. But I appreciate you guys watching here, and until next time, peace.